Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is October 24th. It is currently 9:50 p.m. This one's coming out pretty late. Today's video will be discussing the topic of dressing your best or putting your best foot forward. So today at work, a student asked me, he said, "Mr. Kawaja, why do you wear a suit so often?" I responded to him that a lot of my mentors and role models wear suits, and so I like to emulate that. And we kind of got into a discussion with the class about how, a number of the students said, like, "Bro, you only teach high school, it doesn't matter." And a variety of other kind of carefree, careless responses. And in reality, obviously, appearances do matter, whether you like to admit it or not. People are making judgments on you based on the way you dress and you carry yourself. And so over the last few years, I've tried to model this saying that you should, as much as you can, try your best to put your best foot forward. And an easy way to do that is just to improve your wardrobe and to improve your everyday dress. So I talked about my experiences growing up in high school, seeing a lot of students who would almost every single day just wear sweatpants. Every single day, it almost looked like they had just rolled out of bed and walked over to school. And in many respects, obviously, I don't really care about my appearance. I rarely ever do my hair and kind of take care of that. But one of the things I do emphasize is dressing properly. And even as a student, I always thought that it was kind of gross that, like, what are these guys doing? They're putting in no effort. They can't be bothered to even change their clothes. With some students and some people, it's pretty clear that they're wearing clothes that they slept in. And, obviously, if your circumstances don't allow you to wash your clothes or you don't have extra clothes, that's very different. And I'm not talking about that. But what I'm speaking on is more so people who choose to every single day present themselves to the world in sweatpants or pajamas. And I can totally understand young kids who, they're underslept and they're forced to be at school at a rather early time. I can understand if out of comfort's sake they just choose to wear their sweatpants or their leggings or whatever it is. But I do think that as you get older, as you embrace and accept more responsibility in your life, the manner in which you dress should reflect that. So trying to dress to a certain standard, and understand that for most of society, there just is no standard kind of placed upon people anymore. It's honestly a bit unfortunate if you ask me. Just anything is considered acceptable and okay and embraced. But I do much prefer setting a standard for myself where, if I'm going to leave the house, even if I'm wearing track pants, that there are a presentable pair of pants and presentable clothes that are appropriate to go out into the world, appropriate to dress as an adult, and to have some sort of degree of distinguishment between you and, someone who's a child. One thing you'll commonly see when you go out is a lot of adult men. In particular, I'll just comment on that. They're dressed almost essentially like 14-year-old boys, and there is no distinction. When you look back at historical photos, you'll see that just about everyone wore a suit, or they wore some sort of dress shirt and trousers and pants, dress shoes. They really dressed well, because as you go into public, you're sort of presenting yourself and who you are and what you're about. And so there's a number of reasons why you should present your best self as much as you can, as often as you can. Obviously, you can't do that every single day and every single moment. But the thing is, the more you make that choice over and over again, the easier it becomes. Finding clothes that you find suitable for yourself, that fit you, that look clean and presentable, can really change the manner in which you are perceived and which you are received. And again, as much as you would like to think that this is stupid, it's wrong, it's just reality, right? We do base our judgments on the way we perceive other people. And I'm not advocating to judge people or to put people down for the way they dress. Everyone can make their own choice, but I do think that the best thing moving forward for yourself in your life is to present yourself in the best manner that you possibly can. And that isn't just with your clothing, but it's also the way in which you carry yourself. Understanding that having some flexibility in your character, in the sense that when you're with certain groups of people, maybe you act and engage in a certain way. Understanding that, when you're with other groups of people, that maybe you need to pull back on certain things and be a little bit more flexible. And none of that means that you deviate from the truth of who you are. It's just that when you're out in public dealing with strangers, maybe you'll have to give more liberties than when you're dealing with an intimate partner versus when you're dealing with, in my own case, students on a daily basis. So presenting yourself the best you possibly can, putting your best foot forward, is more than just the way you dress, but the way you dress can sort of permeate down into the way you act and behave as well. So hopefully this video kind of makes sense and hopefully inspires you to start maybe one day a week putting on an outfit that you're very proud of, that you feel good in, that you feel confident in, and seeing how that impacts your life. The color choice, right? I know for myself, way back in the past, my wardrobe was filled with, blacks and grays. And funny enough, I understand that I wear a gray shirt often when I'm recording. It's usually because it's the only one that ends up kind of on the couch that I wear after I'm done work. But if you have a typical sort of color palette that you wear, try wearing the opposite and see how that makes you feel. See how people receive you. If you usually wear darker colors, like find a brighter color that you really like and enjoy and give it a try, right? See how you feel. Find clothes that fit you. Find clothes that represent who you are now and not just clothes that you wore maybe 5-10 years ago. And ultimately, instead of trying to hide yourself and shy away from the world, try to present yourself. Tell the world that you're proud of who you are, that you're proud of who you're becoming, that you are someone respectable, that you are someone who is consciously thinking about their choices and making choices consciously, and see how things go for you. Okay, let me know how it goes down below in the comments. Take care.